go. Well, it's been. I feel like it's been a little while. Welcome
It's
back.
only been 2 weeks.
I know. It feels like it's been forever though.
Yeah.
Let's go.
By the way, wait. While we were just breaking news, those Messi jerseys that do you know John Brennan? He used to be at Snapchat. He's a sports guy.
Yeah.
So he started AC Memento, and they were selling 6 Messi jerseys from the World Cup. They just sold for $7.8 million.
Damn.
I was literally looking. Just literally was that's wild though. $7.8 million.
Crazy. So all right. So look at the
We got a lot to do today.
Well, look how good this looks right now. Look at like the little production we got. So so real quick. So are we the 3 minutes? Is that the rundown, or are we going right to Art Basel? I'm still learning the mechanics.
I think we're going right to Art Basel.
Let's
I think
I can do it straight to Art Basel. Let's do it. All right, so I wasn't there, so this is your time to shine. Tell us about
Art Basel was a lot slower than years past. I think everyone who did Art Basel, I would say I went to a few things. I went to an NFT. Well, it's not called NFT now anymore. It's called Now Media. And by the way, Drew, do you have notifications on? Because you should.
Yeah, I'm turning that off. Yep.
But I went to a Now Media event. That was like Wednesday night. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I went to.
Was that the Wilder World one we're going to talk about in a little bit?
Yeah, I saw the Wilders thing there. I bumped into Frank, and I was exhausted. But yeah, people were waiting online to play like a racing, like Cruising USA style Wilder World. It was cool.
A little bit, but I'm excited to talk through that a little more. But keep going.
I saw that. I met some cool. So there were some good people there. There's like Snowfro and like Sam Spratt and a few other people like that. Like some real like art related people. Also, randomly bumped into my this is true. I bumped into my my college roommate who went down the path of like CFA and like hedge fund private equity, and he's responsible. The reason why he's there, he's responsible for the FTX bankruptcy. So if you want to buy any of the NFTs, I had no idea this is what he was up to. If you want to buy any of the NFTs that FTX owned, you talk to him, and you get a nice discount. So if you want me to get you the list, Drew, I'll send you the list of all the liquidation stuff that they're doing.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, had no idea. Just bumped into him. I set him up with his wife. Like I've known him for 15 years. Crazy. So, but Art Basel, okay, it was solid. It was a little slower. I mean, there's still a lot of traffic and everything. I'd say the only one that wasn't a waste of money was probably Pudgy Penguins.
Well, I'll tell you from the digital perspective and me seeing and following along, the winners were Pudgy Penguins for sure. Pudgy World was everyone talking about it. Jack Butcher, I thought crushed. I mean, everything that he did and everything he touched all week looked like it was fantastic and fun. And the Pep and drop and his collaboration with the Aviators. We can talk about that later. But he did some great stuff. And then I thought Wilder, of course, it was all over the feeds, the people playing the games and loving it. So those were the 3 that really stood out to me. I don't know if there was anything else that was like, nothing else really blew my mind in terms of the buzz and the noise.
No, there was like D-Gods had a really like nice house. There was a poker tournament there. It was just like exactly how you imagine a D-Gods house to be. Just like bros doing bro stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was solid. I mean, listen, I live here, so like I didn't have to go travel anywhere for this. I took it a little easier. There wasn't a lot of crazy stuff, and I was sort of done Saturday night. Like after Saturday night, I didn't do anything Sunday. I went to something Wednesday night, something Thursday night, something Friday day. Oh, it was cool. The Base and Coinbase had a nice little place there. They were like, first of all, their merch was really nice. It was like Marine Layer. And they were making you use Coinbase wallet to buy it. And they were charging like nothing, like $25 for like a hoodie, like t-shirt, like $3 for a t-shirt. So it was pretty cool. I got a bunch of merch just because it was like really high quality. But Art Basel in general, solid. Nothing to
We got to follow the rundown.
Pudgy World.
Pudgy World. We're learning guys, we're still all learning this new rundown. Alex and I usually haven't followed any rules, but we're going for it. Pudgy World. So Pudgy World was the big talk from what I was seeing all week. And we kind of got the scoop the week before with when we brought Luca on the show on Few. So we kind of knew something was coming, and it was going to be gaming, gaming or film
or cartoon. Yeah.
I thought they lived up to the hype and then some. Like the fact that it was not just an announcement, but there was like things that people were playing and testing. I thought that was I thought they did a really great job. I also thought there were some interesting nuances. I like how they announced that they're going with ZK Sync as their infrastructure and their chain. That's pretty cool. Nice like layer 2 solution. I think that was really big for ZK. We'll get back into when we talk about the art of airdrop farming. I'll talk a little bit more about ZK Sync because that was on my list of airdrop farming experiments this week. So that was pretty cool, especially now that Pudgy's on there. I think there's really interesting. I love the concept of their plush toys as well as the NFTs all being able to be playable in the world and game. So I thought that was a really fascinating way to bring the physical into the digital. I still don't fully understand. Like, I don't know if you guys caught anything about how, Pudgies versus little Pudgies versus the fishing rods or any of that stuff will come into play. So, curious what you guys are thoughts, what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I saw the system there. It was really well done. It was really cool. I took a photo, sent to the crew. Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes back to like, I think Luco's really like just like made for this, like he's that dog. And when you got to the event, like usually like the founders are in the back and like the VIP, like he was standing in the front, like greeting every single person. Like he was in.
Why is that such a big deal?
There was just something about him being out there, just like welcoming every person in that just it felt like I think he just cares a lot more than people. And so I'm a fan. I think in general, going to the path of gaming, I think is the smart one. I think it's a lot of the stuff we've been thinking about, and but I totally could have also seen it be a cartoon, right? You know what I mean? Like. And I'm sure that's also going to happen. I can't imagine them not going down that path, but it should be fun. I'm going to see like, I don't know do you know what like platforms it's coming out on? Is it all web? Is it on like Steam? Is it on PS5? Like, is it a game? Like, do you know?
So no, so that's why I didn't really get a ton of details. That's what I was wondering.
I know that it exists. I don't know more about that. But I'm sure we could find out what the deal is.
So I would like to hear a little bit more, but ultimately, and also their NFTs ran up pretty nicely. And it actually held. Like I bought.
Wait, hold on. You bought right after our call, and if you bought after the call, what was the floor then? It was like
7, and then now it's
7. Yeah.
So it's
did you hold on to it, or did you sell it?
I'm still holding right now. I have I listed it at the time at a quick 13. So if it ran like crazy, I would just get a quick 2x out of it. Like 13 points.
It pulled back right around like 11, right?
Around 12. So like ultimately I'm just holding it. Like my thesis on it was actually that it was going to go, and I think it could be like the next 8 play. So we'll see. Okay. Wilder game debut. So you guys have been, this is if you've been following Alex and I for the 200 plus episodes of Upstream and now Few, there's been a constant theme of me being incredibly excited over and super enthusiastic about Wilder World, and Alex saying, well, when can we do anything? Well, finally, and again, finally being like, you need patience to develop quality games. So like I was never in a rush, but Alex was quite concerned. And they released an incredible.
Look, I've never been concerned. Hold on, let's pause that for a second. I think like I'm a top 10 holder of vehicles in Wild World. I own every single type of thing. I just have wanted to use the stuff in the game because I know they've had a working version for a while. So I'm like, just let me in. I don't care about you or anyone else. Let me play because I just want to get in there and just feel it,
Did you actually see the gameplay at all while you were in our puzzle?
I saw the gameplay. I saw people playing. It was like a really high-end looking like Cruising USA system. Awesome. And I was talking to Frank for a second. And I was just like, can I drive like my car here? And they're like, that's where we're going with things. Mm-hmm. But so it was cool. Like it
And
definitely was cool, and it looked really nice, and it looked like Miami.
yeah, when you're driving by, you could see the Knights of Degen's tavern in town, and there's a lot of like really cool like Easter eggs and like the world that's being developed. But you know, for those that don't know, also, so you guys know that Zero Tech is the infrastructure to Wilder World. I think I've mentioned that before. There is you should all sign up right now because they're going to be doing when now Zero Tech has the Meow token. So sign up for Zero Tech and get your profile on there and start to build your world. You just get to start to like get your profile, and you'll be part of the upcoming token drop. That's what they've been announcing. I think you only have a little bit more time to actually sign up and create your profile. So if you haven't signed up for Zero, I would definitely recommend it. I already got my profile signed up a couple days ago.
Is that like if you just like logged into Wilder World and you have your assets there?
So there's
or is there more?
There's like a new. I think there's like a. My understanding is there's a new thing to create a profile, a ZNS profile. I'll get the link for us in a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
Or Jackie, if you can drop it, if you can grab the link, it's probably on their Twitter. So Zero Tech is the link. Yeah, I saw someone said drop a link. I'm gonna look for it. I'll see if I can get it. If not, maybe Jackie will grab it. But so yeah, grab that. It's so interesting to think about the big vision with them. Like they've all been like, this is just the first step of Wilder World. And like what's really cool is that it starts to incorporate their world, their social network, their infrastructure, the different tokens. Like what's going to happen when you need to like go refuel, if you want to do extra races, you have to use Wild token and buy gas. And there's going to be so many, like if you want to get upgrades to your cars, and like there's just a real vision and a path. And I think we're going to have to be patient because that they're really going after, I think, in my opinion, the most ambitious play. You know, I think that Ape is doing something really cool with their metaverse, but to me, that's like Fortnite. That's what they're going after, the Fortnite crowd. I believe that the Wilder World company is going after Ready Player One. They want us to live and work in a digital society that is open and permissionless, and they're creating the infrastructure for that. So for me, that's the most exciting vision that I've come across between Zero and you know, Wilder. So I miss Upstream, to be honest. Well, yeah, well this is Upstream, and it's in a little plus. But
appreciate you, Elliot. I know the chat in here is a little more rough, but yeah, no, I listen. I'm a Wilder World fan. I'm excited for it. I own a ton of it, so I really want it to work.
Yeah. Let's talk Ledger. What's the deal?
Zynga. Wait, hold on. We have Zynga Sugartown.
Oh, Zynga first. Sorry, cool. Zynga Sugartown. So
yeah.
You want to talk about
the? All I know about it is I knew Camel before because when he was at, I think, Sappy Seals, and like he's been leading the thing there, and then I think we had him on Upstream a long time ago, and then just Beanie made it pump.
Yeah, Beanie did Beanie things.
Everyone was exit liquidity for Beanie. That's what
I actually bought a couple already.
Okay.
I bought a couple before that because I also thought they were like oddly undervalued. It didn't really make sense to me. So like it was
it makes sense to me because the value of NFTs isn't tied to any of that other stuff. That's why they're, you know what I mean? It's like it's purely tied to speculation. And that's the thing that has been like sort of been knocking me over the head for the past 6 months is just like, hey, we're all selling these NFTs, but they're not tied to like if they were tied, then the drops on like what was that thing that shut down recently? Recur would have been the worth the most because those are the biggest IP brands in the world. But they're not tied to that. You know what I mean? So like maybe Zynga Sugartown's good, but like you know, like for the example I give is like if Doodles is the next, you know, Pixar, it doesn't mean your Doodle's gonna be worth anything. It just doesn't. It doesn't mean like what matters is what you get for owning that Doodle, right? You know, you're probably going to get a ticket to go see the movie premiere of the Doodles, you know, cartoon or whatever. I'm making this up, animation. It's not actually tied to any revenue. It's not tied to any of that stuff. So I find it to be, really not problematic, but sort of problematic because people think that when they're buying one of these NFTs, they're entitled to something like the revenue that the thing's going to produce or whatever.
So that's not
people think that. People think that.
Oh, totally. That was not what I was excited about. For me, it was For me, it was that this is a gaming company at its heart that's built some of the most incredible games in the world. They have all the resources in the world to capitalize this, to create the right reward loops, to write the right gamification, just to do all those, like, to kind of introduce all the mechanisms of a high-end quality gaming company and bring that to an IP project. So to me, it's the first real, like, established gaming company to go and at Web3 IP first. No one's come and done that yet. No one from the other, you haven't seen Rockstar Games drop an NFT project yet. So the fact that I think that, like, Zynga is behind this, I think adds an incredible credibility. And I think that so far it's gone under the radar. I mean, this is honestly, it's a relatively cheap NFT. I mean, look what happens to Animoca. Animoca's project, Amocaverse, is a perfect.
Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from, though?
Where is that coming from? That is a good question. I mean, that is
Where
up
is
to
that
three.
coming
What is that? The 3-4 ETH now?
Nobody's talking about it. Who's buying this?
People are talking about it. I would, like, if I look on Twitter right now, just like get a
By the way,
general.
Drew, while you're looking that up for a second, I just did the zero leaderboard, like, for the Mew drop.
Yeah.
Only 1,122 people have done it. That feels like an opportunity.
Totally, without a doubt. They're going to be a token distribution there as well. So it's still very early. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I'm looking right now. 7 hours ago, NFT Well or 6 Mochaverse bought for 20 ETH, $50,000 on 6. Like, there's just, like, it seems like people are.
Is this just like the whales that, like, used to buy Azukis, like, that nobody knows who those people really are, and it's probably just.
Dude, floor is over 4 ETH, and you compare that to Sugartown, 0.6. Like, I don't know. For me, like, I
don't. Something's fishy around Mochaverse. I don't know, man. I don't believe anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Animoca's been a great steward of Web3, so I don't want.
Yeah, no, they seem to be really good people. So I don't like,
like, I'm in support of everything that they have going on and what they're doing. I just, like, I'm still confused because, like, I don't fully understand what's going on with Mochaverse, but the fucking NFTs are running. So a part of me is like, what am I skipping and what am I missing? But it seems like some people are in the know, but there are definitely, like, I'm looking at some people, there's whales that are representing them, Sammy ETH, Yellow Panther, Puka Rainbow, I don't know, some people I'm not familiar with. But anyway, Dingaling made a big 35 Mocha sweep, so looks like Dingaling made his splash. So we'll see what happens there.
I'm still holding with I don't get it, and let's see.
Yeah, totally. It could be, Launchpad for gaming. I think that's great, Connor. That's kind of what I've been hearing. And then, to be honest with you, if Animoca is backing the Launchpad for gaming, I think that's a fantastic. Like, that's another reason why I love this, is because that Animoca has an ecosystem of games. So even if one game doesn't take off with the IP associated to it, you can immediately attach Mochaverse to other games. I think that makes for a much safer and more, like, effective strategy when it comes to games and NFTs and tokens, is having an ecosystem associated to it rather than just one game that could go boring after a little while, like for example, Axie Infinity. Yeah. So okay, all right, let's talk.
Let's move to a Ledger.
So, I mean, I am just still catching up on this. So, guys, in the comments, if anyone really knows what's going on the Ledger front, feel free to share if there's been any new updates, because I think this is kind of happening in real time as I'm reading. But I woke up this morning, I got a bunch of messages saying, don't touch anything on Ethereum, which is, like, the funniest fucking thing ever. Because, like, imagine, like, we got like a text alert from the government. Hey guys, something has gone wrong with US dollars. Don't spend money on anything today. Like that's kind of what everyone's been. Hey guys, sorry. Like, this is how you know crypto so fucking, like, early. Like, hey guys, we can't touch anything today. This one little company had an exploit, and that means we probably shouldn't touch the chain. Like, that is just ridiculous.
It seems like there was some nefarious code put into Ledger, and
I think Ledger's done. I think this is, like, the third strike against them. They've had the too many issues already, and this one seems massive for a company that's built on the premise of trust and security. I think they're done. I think this is it for them.
Yeah. I never trusted I don't trust hardware wallets because I know I'm going to lose them. Yeah. I'm the biggest believer of just, like, Gnosis. Just, like, obviously we built the stuff at Upstream to do, and you don't need a ledger when you have a multi-sig wallet. And I know that I can access it anywhere, and you'd have to compromise, like, multiple different wallets across multiple different types of things that are unconnected to each other. So I don't know. I feel safe there. Like when I had the SIM swap, they didn't get any of my stuff because I wasn't connected. And also, you could still connect your ledger to something nefarious and get it drained. So I just I don't know.
So
Making a good case for centralized exchanges, to be honest.
What I'm coming across here, it's like they blindly launched code without pinning a specific version. There wasn't like a 2-man review of code review and deployment, and they also didn't revoke a former employee's access. Like, just some shit that like you think as a security
for a security company.
I mean, come on.
Yikes.
Like, that's really rough. I mean, like I was in HR technology and I was told to remove everyone once I let someone go. Like, you just gotta be a little smarter than that. So I don't know. What I don't fully understand is like, is everything back to normal? I mean, the update 2 hours ago says that that
I would move all your shit off Ledger.
No, I'm not talking about Ledger. I'm talking about there were things that everyone was like, whether you have a Ledger or not, there are companies or projects that incorporated Ledger's Connect kit. And when that project used the Ledger Connect kit, now they're suspect of a wallet drainer. So like that was the real concern for me, is like, what now happened? What are the effects of this whole thing? So that's been like the challenge. But I mean, it sounds like there's just a lot of drop the ball issues, and I think Ledger is probably. I think they're done. I don't see how they. I don't see how they survive from this whole thing.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Degen with Drew. You're gonna tell us what you bought the last few weeks.
Oh, you damn right I did. All right, so first and foremost, let's go, Degen with Drew. Let's go. Wait, can we do one more? I want to get one more. Wacky, love it. All right, so Degen with Drew time, guys. So I made my biggest NFT purchase in quite some time. Well, the Pudgy was my first one a couple weeks ago, but the big one that I purchased that I'm really excited about. It's been my #1 Grail NFT that I've been chasing since day one in Web3. I finally bought the LeBron Cosmic, so very excited.
All you gotta do is wait for it to go down, Drew. That's it.
Dude, I have my listen. You'll check back in with me when LeBron retires. When LeBron retires, that's the GOAT Cosmic. It's the #1. I consider that the #1 moment on all of NBA Top Shot. Show it. I'll leave that up to Jackie. Jackie, if you have any idea how to show things, feel free to pull up the LeBron Cosmic. But I scooped it. I made a deal with actually Usman, who was one of the OG community, and
he owned it. Usman owned it.
Usman owned the one that I scooped. And I got it for 21K. I think it was about 9.25 ETH is what I traded into.
Like half of what we spent on our Moonbirds when we bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Not even. Yeah, I think it was like 4 times as much. Fucking Moonbirds.
Jesus,
but anyway, I got the LeBron Cosmic. I'm going to hold that for a while. It's been my Grail piece. The thing that it does that's dangerous for me is that it now opens me up to having a clear path to completing the Cosmic set. So that could potentially run me quite a bit, because I'm literally halfway there now at 15. But
15 Cosmic.
There's 15 of the 30 Cosmics that exist.
From
that first series. From Top Shot.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
who are you missing?
I was in discussions on a Luka. I saw Luka, Giannis.
You see Giannis last night? Holy crap.
54 points.
Dude,
I'm missing a bunch.
He's a beast.
I'm still missing a bunch, but I'm gonna just gradually try to accumulate them. It's a set that I want to it's the kind of set that in 5 to 10 years from now, I think the LeBron moment itself is either $1 million or zero in 10 years. I think it's like one of the, if you think about the most expensive Jordan rookie cards, let's talk about those for a quick second. Does anybody know what a 10 goes for right now? Like an actual 10? I'm pretty sure it's like $500,000 or $250,000. And I don't know how many there are rated, but that information is all available. Jackie, if you're in the research, Jackie on research, if we could figure out what Jordan grade 10s are worth, and also how many there are.
Feels like a lot more than $500,000, no?
I don't know. I'm taking a look right now. So my MJ rookie grade 10, how many? Here's Michael Jordan rookie cards by PSA grade. So it looks like the gem near 10 mints, it's valued like $250,000, it looks like. I'm trying to figure out how many there are though. Because there's like quite a bunch that are graded at that level. If there's anyone who knows the information here.
True.
So anyway, like
No.
my point being is that no matter how we slice this, the reality is that there are going to be so many more Jordans than the 49 Cosmic LeBrons that will ever exist. And that's the first moment, the first legendary set. It's his debut on Top Shot. You know, I think so. Like, to me, that was just like a piece that, like, as a collector of NFTs, it was just something I've always wanted. And also as someone who's bet and been bullish on NBA Top Shot in general, it was definitely a set I wanted to make moves on. A couple other things that for Degen with Drew, because this was a busy week. Let me just take a quick look. Okay, so one other project. I think I might have told you guys about this one. I've been really hooked on it, and I completed the set, and now they just released the burning. You actually, I think, got a few of these.
I bought the Pep. Yeah,
the Pepe. So
nice.
I completed the Pepimon set, and now this week they just announced yesterday that you can, if you have doubles of any of them, you could burn 2 and get one of the holographics. And the holographics look amazing. So you could burn 2 doubles and get a holographic. I wonder
if I have any.
So supply is now going down a bunch on the Pepimon trading cards. So I haven't even done the full burn yet. I'm going to start doing that. And then next week they have they're going to, so like this project's kind of like moving, and it's been pretty cool. It's not going up in price much, but like there's now they've burned a few. It's like, it's really cool art. It's a good project with a rabid community.
Oh, I have a few. I have doubles. Should I burn my doubles?
Yeah, let's fucking do it. Let's see what you get. I haven't even done it yet. So you get a hologram.
Do you know where to do it?
Let me get that.
I don't know anything. I just totally aped into something I don't know anything about.
On trading cards. So
okay, I found it.
Yeah. So starting down, so it's true. So yeah, Pepimon trading cards, Pepimon.world. No, is that it? Hold on. Collect, is this the one? Hold on, Pepimon.world.
You sure it's not a wallet drainer, Drew?
I have no, but hold on. Where did you see the link to
okay,
burn?
Here I have I went to the OpenSea. And then I just went and
it shows the link.
Got it. And then there's a link there. All right, I'm burning these 2.
Awesome. Let's see. So you'll have one of the first few of the holographic ones, I think.
Did they just release it?
They just released it yesterday. Yeah. So here, yeah. So you can connect your wallet and you can start to burn. Upload cards 0 out of 2. Trade your cards.
The Chulo Club, the Holo Club.
Chulo Club. So okay, let me get my set here going on.
All right, it's pending approval. It might be a wallet drainer. We'll find out.
So I have a big
collection.
I have a big collection of like 50 of them now. So I'm gonna
it's cost me $30 to burn it.
Yo, gas is just so killer, dude. It's just it's so frustrating. And this is why
RIP Ethereum.
Yeah, RIP Ethereum, dude. It's really been rough out there. And that's why when we get to the art of airdrop farming, I'm going to talk about some of the shit I've been discovering over there. But last things that I got this week. So the Pepimons I told you about. There was the burning, which was kind of fun. I got some of those. A couple other things. I bought one of Hackatow's projects minted yesterday. Hackatow plus Insight did a project called Aleph-0. I thought they were fucking awesome. It's like it's an art block. It's an art blocks project. It generates in front of you. The design is super freaking cool.
I got my holo.
Hackatow's one of my favorite artists.
I got my holo.
Yeah, how's it look?
I'm dropping it to Jackie because I can't comment here for some.
Yeah,
Jackie,
I can't comment either. It's
it.
annoying. The
links so annoying it can't drop.
Jackie.
Yeah, I got a holo. It says never FUD. Common. Hold still the grave. Floor price 0.
Price 0.
Oh wait, the floor is 0.5. I guess no. There's only
a few of them.
There's only 15 so far.
Yeah, so we just minted them. So and not a lot of people have doubles yet either. So I'm gonna do a bunch of my burns later.
Wow. I feel like I should buy. Should you get all burns? Like, should I do that?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Should
I buy the ones that I need doubles of?
That's what I'm gonna do, so I can burn more. But I'm just like, again, these are so cheap. They're like 0.00.
Yeah, they're really cheap.
So they're kind of fun to buy and have some fun with. And like, again, the upside potential is if he's dropping another set coming out with some really great artists involved. So as more and more people discover this, maybe these original series ones are popular. A couple other things. So I dropped the link to Jackie to share the Aleph Zero, the Hackatao project on that was an Art Blocks project that minted yesterday, minted out. I was surprised it even lasted a little while. I was going to mint a few more, but I went back to it. I did get, I got a few more Opepins. I added 7 more Opepins just because I'm going all in on that project. That's my big swing. I'm up to 50 of them. So I have 50 Opepins right now.
Jesus, true.
And by the way, I submitted another 35 and still went 0 for 35. I've never had one reveal ever. I didn't even share.
It's a rug.
It's a rug. And then lastly,
they don't want you to win.
Lastly, there's a project I bought a few of called Building Blocks. I don't really know much about them. I minted a couple, or I bought a couple. Forgot where. Super cheap. They were from the dude who there's like what the fuck is his name? Does anyone know Building Blocks? Yeah, Elliot, he already won the fucking bet. He had a 0.3. He had it at 0.3 and it touched 0.3 for like a day. It like just scraped the tip, and I had to fucking send an OPEP into the wallet.
Champion.
Yeah, and then but I still have a meeting.
People's choice.
But I have a bet with Beanie that was his was 0.4. That's why it hit. Beanie's was 0.3 or 0.9, and we still haven't hit yet. So we'll see what happens there. I'm still confident. Okay, that was kind of my and then I've been
we didn't talk really about. Well, we're gonna talk to creatures in a few minutes, so we should probably move quicker. But I discovered my Solana account, so I sold some stuff. I basically sold most of the things that are valuable so that I could just get more Solana, and then I started staking Solana.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, let's talk Oviators.
Oviators, another cool Jack Butcher project. I bought it. I bought one of them. So the Oviators, you'll be able to send those in and burn those, get a digital version as well as the physical sunglasses. So that's another pretty cool collab. Jack, I mean, listen, Jack Butcher has potential to become one of the most well-known, famous designers. I'm thinking about the designer from Nike that passed away. What's his name?
Tinker? No,
what?
Not Tinker. Tinker's still alive, right?
The very famous designer from Nike. He designed tons of different stuff and did not. What is his name? Escaping me right now. Someone in the comments hopefully can help me out here, but. He's got the potential, Jack Butcher, to really be a transcendent designer in the next generation of this art world.
Someone said Peter Moore. Peter Moore?
Nope, that wasn't it. It was Virgil Abloh. Sorry, Virgil Abloh.
Oh, so Virgil, not Nike.
I thought he did some Nike stuff as well. I know
he did a collaboration with Nike.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Virgil Abloh. So I feel like Jack Butcher has potential to reach the mainstream design world because I think he's just doing things the right way, and he seems and really has a knack for the business, the product, the design, the full gamut. So the fact that he has this sunglasses project that
I'll take the reverse of that. I think he's a solid designer that is basically knowingly taking advantage of degens and degen culture. I think I think he knows how people are not looking at his stuff, and they're looking at it as investments and not art.
Yep.
And I think he's realizing it's just that's how people here approach things. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything. I think he's probably fine. But he found a space that is overvaluing his art so that because they are degens.
I'll tell you right now, what you just told me, all it made me want to do was buy another Opepin.
Yeah, no, it might be a good play. I'm just saying, I don't know that. I know, and that may be the case. I don't. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on to the next one.
I get it. Hey, listen, his designs.
I'm becoming more cynical as the day goes on.
Yeah, his Oviators, I think they're cool. If you want a link, I think that like the price is super cheap. You'll be able to get the physical sunglasses. There's only going to be 1,700 that are ever made. I think it was reasonable. It's above the price of the mint right now.
Yeah.
So go check
let's talk airdrop. You want to talk about the art of airdrop farming?
Yeah. So let's go to. So here's what I've been doing so far, guys. I want. So there was a couple things for me. One, airdrop farming has been interesting. Like I haven't done a ton of it. Most of the stuff that I've ever done in my life, I've gotten because of organic usage. So like I used this and I got that. Like I got a dump of OP or whatever it was. But I want, like, after, like, there's been a lot of talk lately about a lot of these upcoming protocols now dropping tokens, and I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that I haven't had any exposure to. So a part of me, and you guys all know, I'm a venture investor first, a crypto investor. I invest in blockchain companies, products, protocols, tokens, etc. So like, part of me just wanted to actually get exposed to a lot of this new technology that is rewarding people for utilizing their products through these token drops. So I started basically like bookmarking all the different tweets about airdrop farming and suggestions and ideas. And I actually thought that Bankless has a really cool concept called the bounty hunter. They basically created, and right now there's about 50 of them, where they're like, these are the protocols that we think have the best likelihood of doing an airdrop, of a token drop, and here are 5 steps you can take to best satisfy that. And there's like a checklist. It's really cool. An easy way to just like learn protocols, learn products, and to experiment and actually prepare yourself for airdrops. So I started using the airdrop hunter, and the first ones that I've done so far, I chose ones that I was like interested in. So ZK Sync, I wanted to experiment with because, with Pudgy coming, and I've heard some good things about it. It gets talked about a lot. So basically what I did was I added ZK Sync to my wallet. I bridged ZK Sync using Orbiter. So I used their bridge. I then swapped tokens using assets on SyncSwap. I then provided liquidity to to one of their dexes, Maverick, and then I bought a drewaustin.zk domain name. So like I did a bunch of little things to like get some activity on their protocol, and I thought that was really interesting. So like for me, that was pretty cool. I did that with a few different types of products. So I did it with Starknet. So because I've heard a lot of good things about Starknet. I did it with Linea, which is like another like ZK EVM protocol. So these were like a few of them I did were the ZK focused ones. Jito obviously was already passed. Jupiter, which is the decentralized aggregator that everyone's been talking about, Jupe token, etc. on Solana. So I did that one. But there's a really
how much did you make across the board? I mean, we only got 5 seconds. How much did you make across the board from the work?
Well, I have no idea. I just did it. These are all potential airdrops.
Got it.
So the reality is like I said, okay, let me put like a half ETH and ETH into airdrop farming, and I would just use like 0.1 on this, 0.05 on that, 0.02 on that, and I would just start to explore things. And then if I find something interesting, so like a couple of them, like I bought an NFT on a marketplace for a new chain. Like there's this one called Injective. I never even heard of Injective, but as I've done research on it, it's got a real community. And so for me, this was like I bought an NFT.
Drew, you could have taken that 0.5, put it into the meme coin of dog with a hat, and you would have retired already.
I know, but for me, it's like.
Did you see that one? You see the dog in the hat meme coin?
Yeah, I did. I did see that.
So kid put $100 in, made 100K.
Some of this shit's too stupid for me. The reason why I thought the airdrop farming was really interesting and a good use of time is that I got to learn a lot about these other protocols and chains and ecosystems. And for me, that was more interesting than just like buying a fucking dump coin and hoping it goes up. I'd rather learn while I'm potentially earning. So all right.
Futureverse.
Reebok and
Root. I like the guys over at Futureverse. They're good people.
Yeah, I mean they're cranking out.
They did me a solid recently, and shout out to Futureverse. You'll know when you know what it was, but I owe them big. So
really,
I like them. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
they gave me something that would have cost me a lot of money, and they gave it to me for nothing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very nice. We're gonna find ways to work with them, but
Yeah, that's pretty
Good
cool.
people.
No, so they're good people. I did an angel investment in Futureverse a while ago. I haven't, not through my fund, but just personally. So I've always been supportive. But they're doing some interesting stuff. Did you see the Party Bears thing? They have this Party
Yeah,
Bears technology.
no. One of the things that they showed me a while back that was cool that I'm excited about, I'm hoping we could use it, is they could take like 2D, they could take like images and turn them into 3D models.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. They're building some cool tech. They're
They have
building
an
some cool
incredible.
tech.
They have a layer 1 blockchain, layer 2 scaling. They integrate with EVM. They have like 6 or 7 or 8 different NFT projects. They have
They
AI.
did a roll up. They did a whole roll up a while back.
Yeah, they did 3 different AI projects. They have their AI like soccer project, their thingies, and the Muhammad Ali project. So like you could train your AI to play for you or something to nature. I don't know the full gamut of it, but yeah. I mean, listen, they're definitely building the hell out of an ecosystem. I don't know enough about adoption. I do know that I do have Root token. I have it staked. I have Root token staked. I also have their other token, whatever it's called, AXO or something, whatever that is. What's their other token they have? Apto or AXO
Yeah, I
or
don't
something.
know.
Anyway, so they just, there's a lot of really interesting stuff.
So what's Reebok and Root? What is that?
Reebok,
I don't even
well,
know.
they did
Company?
they did a partnership with Reebok. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so Futureverse and Reebok just announced. Let me just pull it up real quickly so I get the details for you. So they're doing an exclusive Reebok Futureverse, like
Oh,
AI
Asto. What was it? Yeah.
metaverse sneaker called Reebok Impact. So they're doing like they're going to be coming out with this like physical sneaker line for Futureverse's metaverse in partnership with Reebok, like some kind of long-term relationship where they'll do different series drops. So anyway, really interesting. Asto token, by the way. Yes, good. Jackie, you're the man. So I have Asto and I have Root. I have them both staked. I'm earning on both of them. That's it.
Cool. All right.
We did it.
We did it. We did
Yeah.
it.
No,
Let's go. We got the last 15 minutes. Let's talk SOL NFTs. Let's bring up
Daniel. Daniel, what's
Hello.
going on?
How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for inviting me.
Appreciate you coming on, buddy. So
yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it all day. Sorry, I'm in the car here.
nah, no worries, man.
It's all good.
So this. So let me first put some context. We've been doing, this NFT show and talking Web3 stuff for about 2 years now. We both, Alex and I, are completely noobs when it comes to the Solana NFT ecosystem. I think we've probably owned, 2,000 NFTs. 20 of them are probably Solana between the two of us. So like, we're very new to this. So I thought like first maybe you could introduce yourself, the project that you created, and then I want to get into like the early days of Solana NFTs and learn a little bit about that. But let's dig right in, because when I came across it, I was like, this feels very undiscovered, and like I'm a big believer in history of chain. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much. Go.
You love historical NFTs, Drew.
I love historical NFTs.
Yeah. So thank you. I'm Daniel. Daniel Sharpens here. I'm just a giant nerd, and I've always been a nerd ever since I got my first computer when I was like 6, for my grandparents, and I've been a project manager in the IT space for a long time after I got out of the Army, building things for other people. And I wanted to, build something that I created. And I'm a nerd. I've always been into crypto, followed Bitcoin. I wish I had some of my old hard drives where I know I mined some blocks, a decade ago plus. But anyways, one of the coins I was following, Ken, announced a move to Solana several years ago, and I'm like, oh, what's the Solana? Certainly I'm familiar with Bitcoin and Ethereum and whatnot, but the more I looked into it, I'm like, wow, Solana is like purpose built for mainstream adoption. It's like fast as hell, and the transaction fees are so low that you could really, whether it's games or utility or whatever, it doesn't cost $20 to do one thing. All of that kind of mixed together into, what would be cool? It'd be cool to make an NFT collection and use that as part of a game or some utility or whatnot. So back in like February 2021 at like 2 a.m. In the morning, I announced on Twitter, I created the account, and I'm like, hey, it would be really cool if I did this. And some people agreed, and they actually kind of start following and engaging and whatnot. And basically at the time, I was like, you know what? If you believe in me enough to even give me a few minutes of your attention, the first however many people that pre-register, you're getting a creature for free. So we actually gave away about 20% of the supply, like over 1,000 creatures, because at the time, it's like I just want to do something cool. I want to build something that brings joy or usefulness to people, and we can win together. And so I gave away those first 1,000, and those OGs are still part of the community today and helping guide the collection. So
So
really, it just started as a nerd project and something like I just want to bring joy to people's lives.
did you realize when you were doing this that you were potentially the first NFT project on Solana?
I was, and at the time, it was scary as hell because I was like, look, I think I'm a little smarter than the average bear. I'm also pretty tech savvy, but I was like, but I'm not the smartest in the world. I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world. And at the time, I was thinking, how horrible of an idea must this be if I'm going to be first? Like, there's no DC or Marvel universe where I'm the first one on the planet creating this on any new blockchain. I don't care what the blockchain is. And I just thought, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is a bad idea because no one else is doing it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was scared as hell because of what I thought that meant.
So what did it look like to like, what does it look like, or what is like the process of minting an NFT project on Solana, a chain that had never held an NFT project? Like, I'm assuming we're not talking like there wasn't Magic Eden back then, right? I don't even know if there was Phantom yet.
No, there was. So it was exciting because I had a community that believed in what I wanted to do. So that part was exciting, but there was also like the other part of it, like doing it. It was insanely painful for everyone, for us, for the collections that followed. There was no Metaplex. There was no Magic Eden. There was no Phantom. Like back then, later on, months after we came out, it was a big deal when wallets were announcing NFT support. So not only did you have to like invent and create a way to even do this in the first place and doing it in an automated way, but if you wanted your community to even see their NFT, like think about it. Forget
Yeah.
all of the crazy DeFi utility, insane stuff we have today. If you just wanted holders to see the NFT, you had to build something. Like you had to invent a way. Is it going to be a site? Is it going to be, how are they going to connect? Like, how does it work with the wallets? Because the wallets don't support NFTs right now. And yeah, just even seeing it, you had to build something new. So it was cool as a builder, but also painful because every step of the way it was like, why isn't there already something like this? And it was also scary because I knew what I wanted to build, but I didn't want to be a bank. I didn't want to be a market. I didn't want to be eBay. So I just had to assume and believe, all right, these things are needed and they're going to be huge for for the ecosystem. So someone else will surely build a wallet that supports NFTs. Someone will surely build a marketplace so like you can easily sell them. And it was just like crossing my fingers for months as these things start slowly rolling out.
So that's so cool. So like if we go back in time here, so like if we were to look at the history on the Solana chain, like is there actual like were there mints of any kind of any NFTs of any kind happening on the or before creatures? Like what was the like? I assume there had to be like some one-off things. I know there was no NFT project, but were there any other like what number? If we were to look on the chain, there was an ID number of like mint Solana 1. What is that? Is that or like what?
So
what are you guys?
I don't know the exact like how many it was one of ones like individual people would mint whatever picture they took or some art they created, and there were some artists, some badass artists who created some one of ones and put them out there. I think the first one was like November of 2020. The very first one, early in our life, we and the team, we went through kind of like a search. We put it on Twitter, like, hey, we know we're the first collection, but we're not the first artists. There were some individual badass artists that were doing something. Like, let's have a chat and let's talk about what you went through. And it was
Totally.
like very difficult to find anyone, but there were absolutely some before any of the collections. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so what I thought was really interesting is when I jumped into the Discord, because I was like, so like, usually I'll buy a project, I'll just throw a little bit at it and I'll just grab a couple to have them. And then if I get conviction, I'll buy more because I like find it to be really interesting. It's something I think that it like is like a piece or a collection that I want to be a part of in some capacity. When I found out, I'm like, okay, so Creatures is literally the first NFT project on Solana. Like there is, the nice thing is it doesn't seem like there's much debate. I mean, there is a little debate, but I don't think there's much anymore. I think it's pretty clear that there's like, and I think that part of what makes it so clear is it the 687? The 687?
Yeah, the 689. So,
689.
all
So
creatures, I love all creatures, but there are 689 that came out before that second collection even started. You're absolutely right.
And so to me, and it's funny because because they're the mint date. Like I have a few crypto kitties. The crypto kitties that I have, I try to find are all the ones that were minted day 0 or day 1, whatever it was.
Yep.
Because those are the ones that I like, because I think those are the ones that have historical value in the grand scheme of Web3 collectibles and art. Because I'm in this for the long haul. I don't care about necessarily flipping one thing to another. Every once in a while, I'll buy and trade something, but oftentimes I like to buy pieces that have some kind of narrative, so that when millions of people find out about Web3, narratives will be things that connect to people, and they'll eventually find their way to narratives that could sustain. And like rookie cards in Top Shot is a narrative that people will understand. Early historical art and collectibles is a narrative people will understand. Like, so, CryptoPunks is my biggest NFT position because I believe that whether or not it's the debated, whether it's the first project or not, to me, that was the pioneer of the PFP. And in the textbook of Web3, so like, the reality is that you guys, that your 689 are truly the first NFTs that were ever minted. And some of them, which I think is also really cool, were minted in March versus minted in April, is what I understood. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like how long did the minting?
Absolutely. So yeah, our mint date was 26 March 2021. I think it started around noon. And it's interesting you mentioned CryptoKitties because the way they were born, CryptoKitties, inspired how creatures were born. Like there wasn't like today, you have your mint day and everyone goes and clicks the button and you can mint out all 5,000. But what I wanted to build was something a little bit different. But I was inspired by CryptoKitties. So creatures actually started generating one creature every 15 minutes, starting on 26 March 2021. And then like those. The creatures from the first day, I don't even know what the floor is for those. It's insane. And then the creatures for March, because you're right. Like when you're talking about narratives, like it not only is it before the second collection, but also it's an entirely different month, right? I don't. It's funny how some of these things matter more than others. Yeah, there's only 3-4 days left in March, and your March creatures have been highly valued by collectors. Like just March in general, the floor is something insane, and then following the 689.
Yeah, so David in the comments just asked, how can you tell when a creature was minted? So that is part of the challenge, is like, and I actually think in my world, I think that's part of the opportunity from an investor perspective, because I do think it's something that will probably be solved in some way in the near future, and like in the ability to filter and be able to see, but like it's not that easy to figure out what NFTs were minted first. So like what I did personally, and I'd love to hear your view on this. Well, one, is it Rachel who's in the Discord?
Right. Yeah. Rachel's an OG community member. She's amazing.
She's incredible. What she does in the Discord, she'll have a channel called the 689, and she'll drop the links of the ones that are listed. And I think the floor she actually tweeted earlier for an April, but within the 689 is about 10 Solana, 11 Solana, 15 Solana.
Yeah, I thought it was 15 around there. Yep.
15, like that. And then, which I still think is incredibly low. And then the March ones, I think, is about 50 or 75 Solana.
It's
So
insane.
that's pretty. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then like they go really high. I mean, people are listing them hundreds and hundreds of Solana for the earlier you get. The way I also looked at it, guys, just so you know, Deck One if you look on Magic Eden, there's attributes. Deck One are the first mints, from my understanding. Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong in any capacity here. And then I looked at Sequence. No, was it not Sequence? What was it again? And then what's the other one?
Yep.
Was it
Sequence number? Yep.
And sequence number under 689, correct?
Less than or equal to 689. Yep.
Less than or equal to 689. And then there was another component where it has a birth date, I believe, right? There's like where is that? I'm trying to see where that. Oh yeah, birth date. So what you could do is also just scroll through the birth date feed. Yeah. Like there's a little filter and you could just, it's annoying. This is not a good user experience by any means, but you could scroll through and I'm like, okay, so none of these early ones are even listed as for sale. And then eventually I'll run into one and like, okay, here's one listed and I'll check to see what the price is, etc. But you'll see that these original birth dates, these are all the Marches is what I'm looking at first here. So March, I think your first mint date was March 26th. I think
26th March. Yep.
Yeah. And then it goes to March 30th. Is there any evolution or being able way to see the order in a better way? Is there any solution for that?
Yeah, so the couple short answers. One, like you mentioned, the metadata. All creatures have sequence numbers and birth dates, so you already mentioned that. The filters on all the marketplaces are just painful. Like with Magic Eden, you can't do like, hey, just show me 689 less than or equal to, right?
Yeah, I
and
wish
it has a limit. You can only select like so many at a time. So it is painful. Creatures, we used to have a separate page under the creatures domain that had the listings and you could filter by any of these or sort by any of these. We're bringing that back. We're bringing that page back and it links directly to Magic Eden.
Because I do think there's something to be said for making the discoverability easier, because especially I think those 689 deserve to be really highlighted in this collection, which I think also makes them more rare in this world. You know what I mean? Like you guys have your own rarity, which I think is super interesting in and of itself. But for the people that find this project for historical purposes, the second layer of historical component of which is like that order, I think is going to be a valuable asset for those people as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so with that listings page, that's coming back soon. And then we also have what we call a Hall of Heroes. So that was a page that was in our game early on where it basically listed all creature species, all 49 different species, and how many of each actually exist in the whole collection. And then it would tell you how many you had, so that for those collectors that want to kind of like, you got to catch them all, they could see like what they're missing and whatnot. So both of those things are coming back to help with that discoverability challenge.
Very, very cool. And then one other question I had was around today. So I understand there's some burning going on. Can you explain the burns?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you mentioned, we have two different decks. Deck one is the deck that started in March of 2021. Deck two, the original vision involved us kind of upping our game over a period of time. So deck one, the limit for that was 2,500. I think we came in right under that. Deck two started in like December of 2021. And the easiest way to tell the difference is deck ones, they don't have a background. It's completely white. Deck twos have a background. But that's essentially like a second part of the collection. We may separate that out on, as its own collection, like the SMBs, have different collections. But that was essentially us, upping our game from an art perspective. And the original vision involved like CryptoKitties. It involved breeding and whatnot. So that was going to contribute to that. So, so deck two essentially started in December 2021. But they're all creatures, and as we I have confidence. I know, hey, I could screw up all of the utility, but they're always going to be first. But I personally, for myself as a builder, and also for our community, I want us to be known for more than being first. So
Cool.
over the years, we've worked on. We had a game. We came out with a marketplace. We've done several things. We have a little experience out there right now that we're working on. And yeah, so all those creatures
It's
will
awesome.
participate in some way of whatever we create. But you know what? If I keep coming out with terrible idea after terrible idea, they'll
Doesn't
always
matter.
be first, and that
Really-
makes me pretty
really
happy.
special. It's really amazing, man. It's really special to be able to say that you were first on such a popular chain too. It's not like this is like some offbeat chain. This is literally the number 2 chain, probably, or 3 if you consider Bitcoin, Ethereum, then Solana. So it's pretty special. So you're outside of this, do you work in Web3, or what's your like day job?
So I'm a software engineer. I work for Actilent with my roles at Cisco. So I'm a contractor at Cisco, the technology company, and I work in information security, the InfoSec team, writing remediations for exploits and whatnot.
That's super cool. So Web3 is like a passion for you. So Web3 is like a passion for you.
We lost him a little bit.
Yeah, it is. And, when we first launched, I did work on it full time. That was Creatures was my company. That is what I did for about a year. But, in the bear market, some of us had to go back and work for the man. So I went back to work. And Cisco is an amazing place to work. So it wasn't that hard to do. But yeah, so yeah, I love what I do during the day, and I love what I do in the evenings working on Creatures.
It's awesome, man. Awesome. Well, listen, I'm really happy we discovered the project. Alex, you got to have to do a little floor sweep and clean that floor up a little bit. But yeah, this was really, it's really cool. I think you guys, I actually bought, after I bought Creatures, I ended up buying some Fracks as well, because I thought those were supposedly, that was one of the early art Solana projects, from what I could tell.
Yes. Yep. Not a PFP. I think it was the first non-PFP project, and they're pretty amazing too. Yep.
Yep. So that's been, and like guys, the floor on these things are really like very affordable. I think they're like 3 to 4 Solana. A lot of room for growth. I think the downside is pretty minimal at this point. So there's a lot of upside potential. So yeah, that's my thesis on it. And I really appreciate you coming on, talking to us about it. Keep doing your thing. It's been fun to get involved and watch the community, and give Rachel a shout for me. She's crushing it.
I will. Thank you so much for inviting us, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.
You too, buddy.
Awesome. All right, Drew, you wanna? We're over time today.
Yeah,
you wanna close it out? I'm 7 minutes late for a call.
Yeah. Okay, we got to wrap. All right, guys. That was few. We're good next week, right? I think we're good next week. Then the week after is Christmas, New Year, so we should do one more next week.
Yeah, I think we're good next week, and then maybe
we can do it maybe we'll even do it in person the following week. I'm in Miami, 25th to the 2nd.
I don't have like a setup for us to do it in person.
We can't I could just hover.
Yeah, we'll be in the same room and just move over.
All right, guys.
Find us on, where are we? Spotify, Apple,
YouTube, like, subscribe, Twitter. Find us everywhere. Tweet, tell your friends. Holler. See you next week.
See you, everybody.
Bye, guys.